Hi, welcome back. So today we are going to be taking a look at the Focus Colours of Pari event. This was a 3-day collaboration between Focus and Zwift, and it started on Friday the 27th of November and ran until Sunday the 29th of November. So the rewards for the event, if you completed any one of the 3 rides over the course of the 3 days, then you would be rewarded with a Focus Zalco Max Pari Edition, a bike that is mediocre, 3 stars for both aero and for weight, and also a lovely paint job, the sort of multicoloured paint job there. The other reward, if you completed 3 rides in the 3 days, you got entered into a draw to win a real version of the Focus bike, the Zalco Max Pari Edition, with the same colour scheme as in the game. So, not a bad event. It wasn't a competitive, it wasn't a racy event, but it was really just a large group ride. And let's take a look now at the 3 courses. So there were 2 rides in each day. There was a shorter version and a longer version of each one. So starting on Friday the 27th, this was Stage Lilac, and this was 6 laps, the short version 6 laps of the Volcano Circuit for a total of 27 kilometres. And as you can see, the Volcano Circuit, generally quite flat. It has a couple of climbs in it, but nothing really to write home about. The largest climb there is, you're only rising 17 meters, so it's really not very difficult. It's just a little out the saddle effort, nothing major. The longer version of that was 3 laps of the whole lot of lava course, so 42 kilometres, including the Volcano King of the Mountains. So a much harder 3.8 kilometres, average of 3.2%. So big, twisty, windy grind up to the top there. And in terms of numbers, there was just incredible numbers of people taking part in this event. On this first day, we were looking at around almost 3,000 in the one that I did, which was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that was out of a total of around 10,000 people on Zwift at the time. So that's 30% of the population of Zwift at that time were in this event. And if that carried on similar sort of percentages for the other rides throughout the day, then it's just it's a massive amount of people taking part. And so Focus had recruited a number of, I suppose you could call them celebrities, for the event. And at one particular group ride, I think it was the 7 o'clock Central European Time ride, every day they had various celebrities, or VIPs, I guess you could call them. The first one, the Lilac one, was very miscellaneous. It was members of the Focus team, they said. So whoever that was, it's fine. On to day 2 now. Day 2 was called Stage Lemon Haze, and this was the short ride. It took us for 37 kilometres around the Tempest Fugit course. So again, relatively flat, a couple of short climbs, but nothing too major. Lumps more than anything else. Nothing that got up to a decent percentage. Over the course of 17 kilometre lap, you're looking at 16 metres of elevation, so it's very little. A couple of sprint points, though. Overall, it was a fairly flat, but just kind of long or longer at 37 k's, kind of grindy. So Group B, the longer ride, took on 3 laps of the TikTok route. So much longer. This one gave us a total of 53 kilometres. Again, not much to write home about in terms of climbs. A couple of rises here and there, 44 metres of elevation over a 16.8 kilometre course. And again, just crazy amounts of people involved here. Okay, well over 3,000 in the 3 o'clock race, 3 o'clock ride that I had done. The it's actually 8 o'clock Central European time, this time for the VIP ride. And this one had Marco Fontana, so an Italian racing cyclist, 36-year-old from Italy, and he's won bronze in the cross-country mountain bike race at the 2012 Summer Olympics. So, yeah, reasonable celebrity there, I suppose you could say. And then on to the last day, which was the stage turquoise, and the short ride, which was actually, in terms of distance, longer. The short ride took in Watopia's waistband, 2 laps, 53 kilometres. And, what can you say about this? It's flat. It's just, it's long and flat. So 2 laps of that, almost no climbing at all. So it's 25.5 kilometre lap with 95 metres of climbing. So again, very little climbing there. The longer ride was 48 kilometres, which took up the WBR Climbing Series route, which included the hilly route, the hilly loop, and the epic KOM. So, yeah, a fair old trek up the hill. This one was, I'd say, 43.3 kilometres, but 1,117 metres of elevation. So a real grind up some hills. Okay, so overall, what do we think of the event? Well, look, it's good marketing. It clearly was effective in getting people to race. I'd say the three races that I took part in, 3 o'clock every day, and well over 2,500 riders every day. So in terms of actually getting people onto the platform, it's done its job, and it's done its job quite well. However, in terms of it being a group ride, cards on the table, I'm not a fan of group rides because they do nothing for me at all. You're not really getting the effect of putting the miles in because you're spending 90% of the time in the draft of people because there's just so many people, especially on something like the Volcano Circuit where there was not an inch of tarmac that didn't have somebody on it. And so you're not really getting the best effect of putting the miles in. It's difficult for people on lower end systems to try and render anything when you've got almost 3,000 riders and 3,000 avatars that need to be rendered. So people for lower systems and lower spec PCs are going to struggle. And because it's not separated out by any categories, any groups, it's just A's and B's, long rides, short rides, and that was it. So you can't even really gauge how well you're doing against people of a similar quality. So it offers very little in terms of a group ride. I would much rather it was just a series of races separated by category, same as most Zwift races are. But what can you do? It's easier to organise this way. It's easier to have the celebrities riding if everyone can ride with them, I guess. And, it's a money spinner for Zwift as well. Not that they need it after their funding round. I'm sure they'll put that money into advertising rather than fixing important things like, say, being able to change route without having to log from the game. But that's a video and a conversation for another day. Overall, everyone got a nice looking bike. It's it's reasonable. It's not the best bike, but it's better than nothing. Lovely color scheme, beautiful color scheme, I have to say. And yeah, that's it. So that is the Focus Colours of Pari 3-day tour event. I hope if you took part, you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.